It's PB2 with a capital X with X-Ball the college way. Tips on talking the talk and a dad's memorial to his son. A very special show next on Spike. Cup. What's up with the World Cup? That's what everybody's asking today on Paintball 2Xtremes. Hi there, I'm James Bates, having a good time in the Sunshine State. The PSP World Cup at Disney's Wide World of Sports, the jewel in the paintball crown, if you will. Got a lot of X-Ball action to wrap things up today. Both the pros and some college guys going at it, gunning for glory for their alma maters. I can't handle the whole workload by myself, though of course not. I need Jen Pierce to help me out. Jen, catch.
Got it. What James didn't bother to mention was that we have a full house of other items on our agenda for today. Need to improve your communication skills? Our Game On will get it on. And to top it all off, we'll bottle up your safety concerns with our man JJ. But first, I want to introduce you to some paintballers who are giving the sport the old college try.
The Big Ten schools of the Midwest have been the pioneers in the effort to bring paintball to the collegiate level.
Purdue and a lot of our guys at Purdue in the past, along with a lot of the other Midwest schools, pretty much started college paintball. We got together and finally did one event and as a proof of concept, and that was 1993. And in the last 11 years, it's grown and grown and grown. You know, all of us together made the Midwest League, and then made the National League, and that was how NCPA was born.
And how important is paintball on a typical college campus?
Paintball on college campus is life. Practice 3 times a week, play on Sunday, Saturday, whatever. I mean, we got some classes and things like that, but most of these guys are here from paintball. There's one on-campus field that was ours 3 years ago. Now there's somewhere along a dozen to 20 different on-campus fields. It gets bigger every year.
As defending champions, Purdue is the early favorite here at the World Cup, but it was their Big Ten rival, Illinois, who came out on top, defeating a surprisingly strong team from Arizona State.
We came with a strong team. We played our hearts out. We played every single point as hard as we could, and you know what? To us, it was no big surprise. We came in here thinking we were going to win. We never come in thinking we're going to go second place. We're here to win it.
So picture it, the Orange Bowl filled with bunkers, the Rose Bowl plastered with paint. Wow. Yeah, can you give me the NCAA, please? Hey, when we come back, we'll check out more X-Ball action and the pros going at it. You don't want to miss it. Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, the world's largest paintball supplier. By Bob Long, the man behind the world-renowned Intimidator. And by 32 Degrees, cool as ice. They're coaching them up out here at World Cup of Paintball, getting on them. It's a team effort, and the coach is heavily involved. In X-Ball, they can have a coach over on the sidelines helping them out a little bit. And this guy is trying to help his team take home that World Cup in 2004. It's something that everybody dreams about ever since the first time they picked up a marker. And communication is our big thing today in our Game On segment. Check this out.
I'm Bob Long. Today I'm going to show you the importance of communication. The communication across the field, it's like having an extra player. I stress 5-man, 10-man, it doesn't matter. Back center is a great place for communication. It's got to go to the outside guys, it's got to go to the inside guys, it's got to go to the front guys. He's got to tell everybody on the field what everybody else is doing. This is a chess match. You want to catch these guys. You want to make a quick move and shoot those angles out. Another quick move and shoot those angles out before that other team can react. And communication is everything. This guy tells them, go left, go right, cross up, turn sideways, count the counts. They got to know how many people's walking off the field. At all times, a team, or anybody has to know where the dead man's box is, or you got to find him. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you're a snake guy, you get buried in the snake, nobody tells you where anybody's at. It's another country there. You don't even know what's happening. So it's scary. So you want to talk. You want people to talk to you all the time. Talking is great for the sport. I mean, it's not a stealth sport. It's not sneaky. It's fast reaction now. So communication, stay on it. Talk all the time.
Okay, paintballers, get out your pom-poms. PB2X plus PSP plus WWOS equals HOT. That is, of course, us, plus the PSP World Cup, plus the Disney's Wide World of Sports. And the HOT Hot are the pros who are battling it out on the X-Ball field. So let's go to James and JJ with that action.
Well, thank you, Jen. We may need you to translate. I don't speak Russian, but you can believe they're saying this is the finals, and we've got to take down these guys, the big dogs, the Boys in Blue Dynasty, the World Cup 2004 X-Ball Finals. And this Russian Legion team that Dynasty's going up against, JJ, they made one heck of a comeback against Infamous last week, and they're taking down Dynasty right now.
They did. Now they're beginning to take Dynasty down. However, the Russian Legion has lost 2 of their right flank men. They've lost both of the ones they sent towards the Snake. The Rolly and the Snake man are both gone.
In our coverage against Infamous, they did so much damage from that Snake. Now they'll have to do without. They move a guy to the X.
He moves all the way up to the X, James. He has a good position here. He's at the 50. It's a large bunker. He's going to try to work that center as well. He's working on the Snake, which is the top of your screen. There he is. Shot the Snake player out.
And now it's 2 left, 1 and 1, and they'll trade 1 and 1. And how about this? First time we've seen this on Paintball 2Xtremes. A 1-for-1 trade to end the game, so no points given out in this first game.
That's right. Both teams lose all 5 players. 0-0 score.
Well, let's see if somebody can get that first point on the board right now. Russian Legion on the right, Dynasty on the left. The finals of X-Ball.
We see a little ref action there. The ref cam runs in. Player was hit on top of the head. The ref calls it, comes in, takes him out.
There's Fedorov, one heck of a player for the Russian Legion.
Incredible player. Fedorov is working that bunker, reloading as we can see, shooting while he reloads.
On the other side, there's Johnny Perchek.
Yeah, Perchek's running up the right side, trying to get angles. Fedorov's, oh, he's gone. Right in the goggles.
And here comes Dynasty. So there's your first point of the finals of X-Ball on Paintball 2Xtremes. And as Richard Logren hangs that flag, don't count the Russians out. They'll be back, and so will we.
As fast-paced as X-Ball is, there definitely is no time to take a breather. And you have to keep everything bottled up. Enough bad puns of mine. But seriously, though, you have to play it safe when picking a propellant. Let's go to James and JJ in the safety zone.
The higher the level of play gets in paintball, well, the higher the level of pressure gets as well, and not just up here, but also in here, the nitrogen or high-pressure air. A lot of the pros, a lot of the tournament players are going to, right, JJ?
That's right. They prefer this because it gives you more consistent velocity. It actually is required by some markers. Some markers will not use CO2, but require the compressed air or nitrogen systems.
Different safety concerns here than here?
There are different concerns. We have a very stable pressure in here as compared to CO2, but we have a much higher pressure. Here we're talking about up to 4,500 PSI. That's 300 times the pressure of the air we breathe. If this gauge were to snap off, you would get a high pressure stream of air coming out. Be careful not to get your hand on that. It'd actually penetrate the skin and would cause some damage to you just from the pressure of the air alone. It would cut you.
What do you do if it is streaming out air?
If you were to break this off or you were to get a leak or something, just get away from it, let it leak out. After it's empty, take it to a professional, let them look at it, they can repair it, no problem.
All right, I'm here with Gino Posterivo at the World Cup, and he was just telling me it's his 10th World Cup. So tell me what it's been like watching all 10 of these last World Cups and how they've evolved.
Well, we started from fields in Disney, outside of Disney, cow pastures, just a grass field. Now we're inside Disney. It's amazing. Just tractor trailers all over. It's like a NASCAR event out here. It's as big as NASCAR.
Thank you so much. But don't go away. We'll be right back.
.444, .445, .446. Hey, welcome back to Paintball 2Xtremes and Disney's Wide World of Sports here at the PSP World Cup. A lot of paintball action going on, a lot of paint being sprayed, a lot of balls on the ground. And while I finish counting these up, why don't you guys go count down the 60 seconds it takes for our 1-minute review.
Indian Creek Designs would like to introduce you to the 2004 BKO. The BKO is an entry-level marker designed for the beginner to intermediate level player who's looking for a marker that is capable of high-end performance but without the hefty price tag. The BKO comes standard with a high-pressure and low-pressure regulator with gauge to allow the player to personalize it to their own setup so that it will perform its very best. The BKO comes with a 4-way adjustable trigger. You can change your pivot point, stop length, spring tension, and micro switch length. The BKO also comes with a low-rise feed neck that is adaptable to all loaders in the market and comes standard with a cocker-threaded barrel, so it's very easy to upgrade to aftermarket barrel kits. The BKO comes with an easy-to-maintain ball detent, which prevents double feeding, is easy to clean, and it is also PDS upgradable through the Indian Creek Design factory. So whether you are new to the sport of paintball or an experienced player, then the 2004 BKO from Indian Creek Designs is the right choice for you.
Well, that's a lot to cover in a minute, and we've got well under a minute left in the first half here in the finals of the World Cup 2004. There's Dynasty. You're looking down on them on the other side of Russian Legion. Dynasty up 4-3, and they're going to try to use all this time in the first half and make a run at it, JJ.
They are. They're running right to the X again. They found that they can get to the X at the 50 fairly easily, and they can actually do some damage from there.
And there's the damage, taking out 2 Russian Legion guys, 1 left. They got him, and look at this charge. They got it. Wow, right before the horn, 5-3 Dynasty going into half. Yeah, finishing off the first half like that, it'll get the juices flowing. Mike Cota and the boys in blue getting fired up for round 2. Here's the second half. Now remember, this Russian Legion team made one heck of a comeback in the second half against Infamous in the semifinals just to get here. They've got to do the same now against Dynasty.
Yeah, with a 5-3 score, the Russian Legion down by 2 needs to get this point. They don't need to be down by 3 in the second half. That's just too tall of a hill to climb. They have to work on this point really hard.
Back player moving up as you look down at the grounds of Disney's Wide World of Sports, getting chewed up a little bit. All these guys sticking and moving, cutting, trying to work their way, and Russian Legion trying to work down to that snake that they took advantage of in the semifinals.
Yeah, that's Maximus Lundqvist. He's actually a player for Joy Division out of Sweden. He's guesting with the Russian Legion here. He's working that rollie right now, trying to get in the snake. There he goes.
And you got to point out, Maximus also a supermodel. How about that?
He's a male model. That's what he does for a career when he's not playing paintball.
Well, trying to keep those welts off of him. He may have a big photo shoot. Now he's going one-on-one. 2 guys in the snake, 1 for Dynasty and 1 for the Russian Legion.
You have Ryan Greenspan in the snake. Here we have Todd Martinez. He's shooting top cover for him, working on that snake as well, trying to get Lundqvist out. And he's done it. Maximus is gone. Allows Ryan Greenspan to move up in the snake. Even better position, and he'll soon shoot cross court on Russian Legion.
And that becomes a pain in the gluteus, Maximus, as the Russian Legion finds out. You get those angles and you can pluck away some guys, and that's exactly what Greenspan's doing now.
Yeah, Greenspan's in great position. He's working on him now. Little jousting action. Reloading. Waiting for that final move.
And here's a big move by Fedorov, the last Russian Legion player left. Greenspan over in the snake. Fedorov has been hit. He wants Greenspan out. The referees say nyet. And look at Greenspan, 6-3 Dynasty. And we'll wrap this up later in the show. Read all about it. Paintball 2Xtremes magazine. We got Russian Legion, Oakland Assassins. Get it in your mailbox or at your newsstand. Great stuff going on in this issue too. Why don't you check out, see what's happening. The February issue of the magazine will include 5- and 10-man event coverage from here at the World Cup, a profile of the Russian Legion, and the no-nos of cheater boards. Check it out. Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by Diablo. Play with fire. By Empire. It's a lifestyle. And by National Paintball Supply, the world's largest paintball supplier. Welcome back, everybody, to Paintball 2Xtremes in the World Cup from Orlando, Florida. You know, there's always a lot to see at this event. Paintball showing off its best and brightest, and sometimes we also get to experience the deeply human side of this wonderful sport.
Coming back from World Cup, and I had just thrown him out of the house for drugs and stuff, and he was 19 at the time, and I talked to him coming back. We were 5 minutes from the house, and he said, "Dad, I'm going out for 5 minutes. I'll be back. I want to talk to you. I'm going to change my life." told me he loved me, and that's the last time I saw him alive.
But following the tragic death of his son Ronald, Doc Draper channeled his feelings of loss and grief into his paintball team, using it as a way to save other at-risk youths.
These kids are facing a tough world. It's hard to keep them away from the riffraff. And as a parent, that's why this team has been so valuable, that we've attempting to create our own social environment.
He takes care of us. He shows all of us love, man. I didn't have any place to stay for a while. I lived with him for 8 months. He took really good care of me until I could get my own place. He's a good guy.
They must make their grades. They cannot get in trouble with the law. I don't like foul language. I tell them they don't need to cuss. I cuss enough for all of them, okay? Chris Powell's a work in progress. Used to probably have one of the baddest tempers and worst mouth I've ever heard. I'm so proud of him this tournament, because I haven't heard him say one curse word on the field, and he's finally getting his mind in action, and he's under control now. Congratulations.
Let's go. Hey.
Contrary to the popular belief that we're a bunch of rich, snobby kids, that's totally, the only rich, snobby kids on this team are mine, okay? The rest of these kids are middle-class American children, okay? We have strict rules, but the rewards are great, okay? The rewards are great. If they're willing to sacrifice and work hard, they get to tour the country. Our year will culminate in December when I take the team to either Acapulco or Aruba, and that's just a good time. That's the reward for those boys.
Doc's Raiders have earned those rewards with some dominant victories this year. But even a winning record cannot compare to the spirit of a man whose reaction to the loss of one child has led him to save dozens.
It's a great game, I'll tell you what.
Yes, it is.
It's changed my kid's life.
Well, thank you very much, Jen Pierce. And Doc's Raiders had a very successful World Cup run for a variety of reasons. And now one last run for the Russian Legion. Time's a wasting though. 1:25 left in these finals. 8-6 lead for Dynasty. We saw Russian Legion in the semifinals take on Infamous with 2:23 left, down 2 points. Here they've got to go even faster, JJ.
Yeah, they do. They really have to turn it up, and it's tough against Dynasty. Dynasty will play a pretty technically proficient game as well. They're playing a little bit more defensive, crossing the field up, not taking any chances, knowing that the clock is on their side.
Well, here goes Perdini trying to make one big charge. It worked against Infamous in the semis. It won't work here. Perdini's down.
Brian Cole shoots him out. That should be it for Dynasty.
Brian Cole, last man standing. There goes the horn. So 9-6 for the boys in blue. Dynasty.
No, game's over.
Well, technically, Brian Cole, the game is not over yet. A few seconds left on the clock, so one last-ditch effort for the Russian Legion, and it is just that, JJ. Not enough time to overcome that 9-6 deficit.
I don't think so. I don't think there's enough time. Dynasty's going to play tight again in the back. Russian Legion's taking as hard as they can, but just not enough time.
Well, earlier in the year at the Northeast Open, if you remember, the Russian Legion beat Dynasty up in Pennsylvania and said that their main goal for this season was to win that World Cup, but not this year. It goes to the boys in blue. Congratulations, Dynasty. X-Ball champions at World Cup 2004. One heck of a matchup, though, the Russian Legion and Dynasty. And now Jen Pierce is down there with some thankful guys.
2004 World Cup PSP X-Ball champions.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
We feel excellent. I mean, this is the best tournament we've ever won.
You went back and forth with the Russian Legion all season long. What did you have to do this time?
I mean, they're excellent players, and I mean, they're one of the best teams, I think. And I mean, we just had to concentrate and just discipline. Everybody has more heart than any other team in the world right now, and we just proved that.
Well, I guess you could say the 2004 World Cup has just been overflowing with excitement, huh? The climactic finals of X-Ball, what a perfect way to wrap up our 2004 PSP World Cup coverage. But we've got one show left, and down the stretch they come, and boy, do we have a good one for you next week. We'll take you on a journey back through the year with highlights of competition in all the major classes. We'll recall the strange and serious sides of scenario games, and we'll take you on a visit to the nerve center of National Paintball. So there you go. That does it for this week's show. For Jen Pierce, I'm James Bates. We'll see you next Saturday on Paintball 2Xtremes. Now, if I can just remember where I parked the PB2X Hummer. That's what I'm taking home. See you guys.